Welcome to you all, and I'm Zoya Malik. I'm the Editor-in-Chief of the Financial Services Practice at Global Data. I'm also the editor of IAB. So it's lovely to see you all, and please do come up to me. We work all year together, but today is a good day for us to actually see each other face to face and put faces to names.
When I was presenting today, the things I was trying to get across was just how important it is to reimagine our accounting profession, because we offer great services and valuable to our clients and prospective clients. But sometimes we're a little bit unconfident, a little bit shy about saying what a great profession it is, the opportunities, the potential, and how can we keep attracting the brightest and best to join the accounting profession.
Well, I enjoyed sharing the research that we did with some of our member firms around diversity, equity and inclusion. And I was particularly pleased to see that 100% of them actually had programs in place. We were able to dive into some of the programs that they've got in place. And one of the things that really came up and spoke to me was intersectionality. And that's about when you have different characteristics, but you have more than one. So maybe you have a disability, maybe you're a particular gender, a particular sex, a particular sexual orientation. And it's not just that they add together, there's a multiplier effect in a very negative way. And firms really need to think about what that means for them in terms of how they offer opportunities, how they recruit talent, how they develop talent. So intersectionally really important.
Really dealt around the business model in general for the firm. So it is moving to a corporate model, number one, focused on the client model that's very different and focused on the industry expertise rather than the geography of old. And then the third thing is getting your leadership ready for the future and focusing on all of your team members and having them attain the leadership skills that they need to move the firm forward.
Firstly, around how firms need to think about the impact of processes when they're really targeting the challenge of resource and recruitment. So how can you firstly look at the way that you're delivering the services as a means to revolutionize what that's going to mean for your talent needs? Second point would be that most processes in accounting firms are bad processes. So don't try and jump to automating a bad process. Firstly, start to think about how you can eliminate steps from that bad process. You can simplify the process, standardize the process, and then look at automation. And my third and most powerful takeaway was that most firms who are facing the challenge of not having enough resource, which we're hearing across the world is the number one challenge for pretty much every firm, their default response is to firstly think about how could they recruit and retain more talent.
3 out of 5 accountants, they want to go out of the profession because they intimidated by the technology, they intimidated by the artificial intelligence. Our favorite software developers creating such a big gap between the clients and accountants. They creating those easy softwares, which is like, oh, it's user-friendly, even you can do your accounting, you don't need accountant anymore, come and take it and do it and just sign up for the subscription. So the accountancy profession may very well become obsolete because of that approach and that attitude. Unless the accountants, they will have this, call in them and they get that message that something has to change.
I think we're going into a period of great change. I do think that for firms, the opportunities are very good, but they need to be aware of them. Technology is going to impact on firms. We're seeing things like ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all impacting those technology skills. And we need to think about the work that they're going to do and how firms are going to develop professional judgment and independence, because they're going to have to do it differently to the way in which they've done it in the past, because a lot of the work the kind of junior auditor would have done, the machine's going to do, the technology's going to do. So how are you going to build and develop those skills into the future? And I think that's the exciting opportunity.
I
think the direction of travel we're seeing is naturally being impacted by a number of macro trends and evolutions of the profession. So absolutely things like private equity investment, the increases in the level of work that's available in the market and opportunity that firms face mean that they need to really, in the next 12 to 18 months, recognize that the status quo is not going to be sustainable in the longer term.
The changes that we're likely to see over the next 12 to 18 months, I think are going to be yet more acceleration in the way that our profession is changing. Some of that will be driven by generative AI, some of it just driven by general digital transformation, but it's a volatile, complex environment. Things are moving fast, and I think you're going to look back here in 2 years' time and go, I heard some of that first at that conference.
Yeah, in the next 12 to 18 months, I think there's going to be a lot of change. There's a lot of news articles I had shared today about how the partnership model has changed, whether it's private equity, investing in various firms. There's been even investment from not private equity, but wealth management firms. And there's going to be other industries that are going to be looking at the profession. The profession is highly profitable, highly successful, and those who have cash are very interested in investing in that.
That was a very good event, and it is still going. I think it's very inspiring and opening and changing the perspective of many people.
Well, it's always great to be back here. It's just such a fantastic opportunity to meet old friends, to find out what's new in the industry, who's doing what about technology, who's up and coming, who's doing something different. It's inspirational because you get the opportunity to hear what your peers are doing. Maybe steal a few ideas and think about implementing them too. It's probably one of the best networking opportunities there is.
It's always great to be at the International Accounting Forum. I get to meet up with colleagues that I don't necessarily get to see on a regular basis. It's a good time for all of us to kind of take a day, reset a little bit, talk about what we're seeing with our member firms, what they're seeing with their clients, and how we could better serve our member firms so that they could serve their clients better. And having those discussions, having the interactions, very timely topics that are being talked about, and it's just really beneficial for us to be here.
I love being here at the International Accounting Forum 2023. There's a great range of people, different aspects of professional services. There's some suppliers, there's some people who are very keen buyers of those services, and also just a lot of people who are trying to get better at what they do. They're curious about the future. They want to hear about what's going on, and they want to be at the forefront of where the accounting profession's going. So, as always, a privilege to be here.
So the International Accounting Forum is a really standout event for us in the calendar. The conference during the day has a really rich agenda and a delegate attendee pool who are some of the who's who of the accounting sector, not just in the UK market, but broadly overseas. We see many people flying in from the US and other countries to come to the conference. I really like, though, that the conference is complemented by the evening dinner and the awards ceremony, which recognises some of the great achievements of the accounting profession, what the firms are doing, what technology companies are doing, and it's a real great celebration for all of the people who are working across the world on many different things, bringing them together for a real enthusiastic evening and a great opportunity to connect and network.